profit with Nick Black. It's time to chit chat. You know nothing about blockchain. We here to fix that. You want the news on them new stocks? This where you get that. So go and grab you a nice chair. It's time to sit back and talk to profit. Hey, hey, you talking to the prophet. Hey, hey. We talking condos and nice clothes and driving Lambos. I remember them night codes, we couldn't stand those. We tried to drive on them house roads, but had to stay low. Now there's solutions to hard bills we couldn't pay for. I thought the profit to get some profit, we couldn't change the top. If it's a stock and I need a cop it, I wait for him to drop it. Ain't no option, let's get it poppin'. We chillin' in the trap. I need some crypto, put it in my pocket by any means I rock. This is the profit with Nick Black. It's time to chit chat. You know nothing about blockchain, we here to fix that. You want the news on them new stocks, this where you get that. So go and grab you a nice chair.
Do you ever get sad when you get like a real sweet thing of coffee and then like you have your first like 3 sips and you're like, yeah, man, this is so good, this coffee. And then you're sad because you know that you're going to get to the end of it and then you'll have no more coffee. It's so sad, man. So sad. All right. Let's see what's going on. Let's say hello. Let's start over on the Theta. Mint Wealth, what's going on? Skytal Cipher, Scytal, Skit, Ocean Dawn, Biotech Breakout, Scorpion, Baykeeper, Veritax, The Real J. Cole, SGO Theta TV, 29LH06, Solid Gold. What happens next? Bimps, Wood HK, Antonio, CC Brown, JDSGC, Gordon Bennett, Spirella. Okay, cool. And then over here, Antonio first up. Bam. Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. We got Scorpion, Siri Marienko, Sergey. We've got P. Kelly, Brad Taylor. What up? Scott H. Emmanuel, Brady, Phil. Oh, man. Did a little jump. Hold on. Catching back up. Jerry in the house. Phil Moore, don't drive into oncoming traffic, Phil. That is dangerous. It's not productive. Ella Paul. Rocky, what's going on? We got all the Scots darting uphill. Brandon, nothing is free. Yeah, they say there's no such thing as a free lunch, and then the best things in life are free. Meaning, by the transitive property, that lunch is not one of the best things in life. That's all we know. We don't know much, but that we do know. Let's see. Joe Fernandez, ¿Qué onda? JJ, sup? Michael Murphy, Cross Pond, Tiffany, Eliala, Dave, and Ashley. What's going on? Todd Bishop, Judy, Tom, Professor XRP, Sylvia. I think we got, okay, Zago, what's going on? What if? All right. We pretty much got it. The peeps that are here are going to be here. Yeah, so we'll go to our little non-commercial break, and then we'll come back. Let's see. Nothing is forever, however, until they change the law in the U.S. It's possible. Anything's possible, except for the stuff that's not. Junkyard 454. Mark, what up? Okay, let's go to our non-commercial commercial breaks. You know what? I was going to get you on today, Jerry, but I'm pulling a shenanigan right now, and I was deep in shenaniganery. So whatever. You know, I don't know if you guys realize this, but eBay announced that they're entering the NFT space. And I don't think it'll take too long before eBay does more business than Nifty Gateway. And my guess is that eBay becomes the place, you know, they're looking at all this and they're saying, look, we can do all the things that Nifty's doing. Maybe we can do them better. I don't know. Who knows? Or it's just going to be the second market for a lot of NFT artwork. But the problems with eBay's a chop shop. eBay also is pro buyer and not pro seller, meaning they will stick it right up your A. They do not care about the sellers at all. They will not protect the sellers. There is zero seller protection. Zero. If you send something to someone and they just say, well, I didn't get it, you're out. They'll take your money back that you sold it for, and they'll always rule in favor of the buyer, no matter what, 100% of the time. If you're a seller on eBay, just assume you're going to get screwed over and over and over. eBay and everybody that it works there, I apologize if you're listening. You guys are all pieces of shit, right? And PayPal, similar. Seller protection. But knowing that, it's just cost doing business. So what do? You use eBay to suck people away from eBay and onto a private platform or something else. So anyway, yeah, PayPal isn't tied to eBay, but they have all the same crappy habits. That's the problem. They're just as crappy. Listen, all of these platforms, they always rule in favor of the buyer, never of the seller. So if people want to screw you over, that's it. You get screwed. There's nothing you can do, because what PayPal and eBay both do is they instantly freeze the transaction. And then they say, it's not us. I mean, we're just in the middle. We're just an innocent bi-party, an innocent tri-party in this whole affair. Bullshit. They're all scumbags, dude. They took your money. They gave the person. I sold a cell phone. I sold an 11 like this. It was the smaller one, brand new in the box. It was, I don't know, 1,300 because it was like the big one. And the guy got it, called me. I released the iCloud on it. I recorded the call. I recorded the email. The guy then sent me back a 5-year-old broken Samsung phone in a different box and said, I returned it. I took pictures. I sent it to eBay. They said, oh, it's not us. You have to talk to PayPal. I talked to PayPal. They said, this is ridiculous. They ruled in favor of the guy. They gave him the phone and they gave him his money back. You can't make this stuff up. So these are some lessons I learned. But I also learned another lesson. If you keep the IMEI number on the phone and you know someone that works at Apple, you can shut that motherfucker down. So what did I do? I'm not going to tell you what I did, but he's not using that phone anymore. And he's not using any phone anymore, at least not on his old account. So it is what it is. Hey, man, you're going to get me for $1,200. I'm going to get you back. Okay. That felt good. All right. So yeah, if you have someone's IMEI number, you can just completely take over their phone. That people are like, oh, SIM swap's impossible. I can show you websites to go where you take their IMEI, you plug it in. It'll, for $16, it gives you every single piece of information that Apple has and that the provider has. You can swap their phone with one text message. Gone. Bye. Thanks for all your shit. Anyway, this is why I tell you guys, don't keep your trading apps on your phone. I know how easy it is. And I got SIM swapped. Why do I know so much about these stupid phones? Because I got SIM swapped and I was like, God, that was ridiculously easy. I would like to know why this was so freaking easy. So once I figured that out, I got a lot smarter. Yeah. I'll pay you to send me that link. No, I'm not spreading discontent. What I'm saying is this is an attack surface and eBay sucks. So I'm going to, whatever, doesn't matter. Anyway, F eBay. How about that? F eBay and F PayPal. But I will say this, we wouldn't be in this bull market, this whatever market. It's not really a bull market, but we wouldn't be where the market is right now if it wasn't for PayPal, I believe, last year saying they're going to start offering crypto-ish crypto ownership, whatever, proxy ownership, and that they were going to roll out to all their merchants the ability to pay and receive in crypto, 26 million merchants. So they're still doing that rollout, by the way. That's not been rolled out. That's still happening. And I think that was what started everything. I want to say it was June 9th of last year. And if you look, that's where everything turned the corner. Remember, it hasn't even been a year that we've been in this ridiculous market. All these new assholes show up and they're like, woo, everything I buy goes up. I know things. No, this is peak fucking insanity. You guys get that, right? This is stupid. Now you have a bunch of idiots. Now it's, Leroy and I were going back and forth last night it's kind of embarrassing to admit to people that you're in the crypto space, because if you did good, it's because you're lucky, right? They go, oh, you're one of those guys that got lucky. Bitch, I've been here since 2014. My brother was mining in 2010. Yeah, y'all got lucky. It is what it is. But with all these dumb coins, Doge Moon, Doge Mars, there's a coin called Loser Coin. You know about that? Yeah. Megapack, Crypto Gamer 420, Cluster, what's going on? Junkyard 454. There's a lot of nonsense going on right now. So what I would say is probably don't tell other people you're in crypto. Probably just keep crypto as your thing right now. Just you and crypto, you and your balance sheet. Don't think that you have to catch every green candlestick. You won't. You'll be miserable. You'll always think you missed something. When you do the math, you didn't miss anything. I told you guys about that. This girl that I was helping out, and she was like, oh, she was all mad at me, sent me these text messages. You cost me so much money. You told me to get out of XRP at 62 cents, and I sold it, and I bought Cardano. I said, okay. And she goes, well, now, it was a message. I would have almost 3 times as much, because XRP was $1.56 or something. I would have almost 3 times as much. We're talking about like a $1,200 investment. Now, to be fair, that's a lot of money, right? $1,200 is $1,200. But it's not Mark Zuckerberg money, okay? It's not like, Stanley Druckenmiller called me at 3 a.m. And I said, math. So this was December 20th, 21st that we sold XRP. It was right after the snapshot. I said, go get out after the snapshot, convert to Cardano, which she did when Cardano was around, 30 cents. So do it with me, everyone. 30 cents to $1.80. Oh, we'll call it $1.70, or 60 cents to $1.50. So the XRP is 2.5x. That's good. 250%. Woo woo. Woo woo. And you did a 6x, 600% in the same amount of time in Cardano. Woo woo. A better woo. And I was like, your $1,200 would have been worth $3,000. It's now worth almost $7,000. No, more. Sorry, $7,200. No text. I said, please lose my number. And then she hit me up on Instagram. Hey, are you still mad? Block. But you can't block them from everywhere. Twitter, block. Anyway, just math. Math. That's all. Just do some good old-fashioned math. Oh, nice. Good. Okay, let's start the show, because I've just been rambling. I know, right? Please lose it. Lose my number. Sell your cell phone with all your numbers in it on eBay so that you lose both the phone and your money. All right. We'll be right back. We're going to talk about some random stuff today. I know, right? The cluster says math, a novel idea. It's so crazy, that math. We're going to talk a little bit about Bernie Madoff, some lessons about memes that we can learn from Bernie. Fetch, MTLX, DAI, oracles. Interesting. Yes, in my blocking game, I don't have diamond hands. I have diamond, steel, iron from a neutron star. You guys know what a neutron star is? It's a star that has condensed just before the point where a star that has not quite enough mass to super condense and create a black hole, which is not actually a hole, and there's nothing black about black holes. But anyway, as the star condenses, it super compresses the matter towards the center of that star. It blows off the top. That's a supernova. And what's left, in many cases, is not a black hole. In many cases, if it's below the Chandrasekhar limit, which is 1.5 times our sun, it will condense to something that's about 30 to 40 kilometers in diameter. And it's basically pure iron. And let me tell you how condensed and how dense this stuff is. 1 square centimeter, boop, 1 square centimeter is 100 million tons. Think about that. 1 square centimeter weighs 100 million tons. That's how compressed, that's how much space there is between atoms and the subatomic particles. I mean, everything's compressed so tight that the only way it can get out information is because every now and then it pushes out these little kind of beep, 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 these little photon clusters that get measured. And the first neutron stars were actually found because somebody thought they discovered aliens. As a matter of fact, they called it LGM1 or LGM2, little green men, the scientists who discovered it, astrophysicists, and because little packets of photons were coming out and they were picking up that quanta, and it was like beep, 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 beep. But what happened is photons weren't escaping because there was so little kind of subatomic activity that it took a while. It was like a capacitor. It took a while for the particles to generate enough force to free the photons. If you can imagine, 1 centimeter, 1 square centimeter, 100 million tons. Heavy. Okay, let's look at some stuff. Oh, anyway, where I was going with that whole circuitous thing was that I don't have like blocking diamond hands. I have block neutron star hands. Yes, some heavy stuff, man. Yeah, well, guards, it wasn't really photons as mass. It was because what happens is the laws of physics of macro physics appear to break down, and that's why, depending on where you look in the universe, things can look dissimilar, but they are actually very congruent. It's just that it depends on the lens, right? Gravity is over vast distances and warps in space due to density, and then you have at the subatomic level you have your atom, and you have electrons, and then inside the atom you have protons and neutrons. And if you break down those protons and neutrons, you have what's gluon, and a gluon is a little kind of electric pack. You could that's a bad way. It's a little pile of 3 subatomic particles that make up their quarks, and so they make up the protons and neutrons. And the quarks have different flavors and colors and directions, and there's ways of describing the quark activity. And at 100 million electron volts, there's what's called asymptotic freedom, and the quarks open. Basically, the quarks escape. That's so the end of the universe. They say when they say it's cold death, that's what they're talking about. So where there's not enough energy to hold so the electrons leave the atoms because there's not even enough weak nuclear force to hold the electrons here. So they go, strong nuclear force. They go, gravity, kiss that goodbye. The weak nuclear force gives up the ghost, and so basically the atoms separate protons and neutrons. The protons and neutrons release, the gluons separate, the quarks, quarks are free floating from the early universe. And then you have, neutrinos. And then the quarks that make up those, they separate, and the quarks actually go. And that's it. And that's essentially what they talk about when they talk about cold death. It's just that all of the energy is kind of dissipated. And so the old argument was, is there going to be enough dark matter or antimatter density, background density, to recontract or recompress the universe? And at this point, no. They don't think so. So it doesn't look like that. So we all die in cold death. Well, I don't die. We will probably all die at the hands of a Boston Strangler. But some people, if humanity gets that far, they'll die of cold death. Great. Okay, let's see. USDT is not easy to get anymore since Binance kicked me out. You can get USDT in a variety of places. Crypto Gamer, you can get it at Kraken. You can get it at Gate. You can get it at KuCoin. You can get it at Bitrue. You can get actually USDT. You can get at Coinbase. That's right. Yeah, Coinbase. Why do we like Tether? We don't really like Tether, but it serves a function. If you have Nexo, you can get USDT. Cool. We all like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, man. We all do. Okay. Let's look and see what's going on. Look at Matic. Matic was as high as $1.23 last night. So it doesn't look like it's going away anywhere soon. Most of you should have your free stash of Matic after having bought and sold and kept your profit, because this was one that we jumped in about 2 weeks ago. It was on the list. It got up to like a 94 or something like that. It left the Vortex score for a while. It was in the low 70s, and then it came back. So what is this saying? Well, statistically, based on the past, again, not a predictor of future behavior, but it is saying that Polygon right now, even right now, is still a good investment if you were to do it for a short period of time. And the way I played is I use a time-based strategy. And the time-based strategy that's been effective for me, and it's different for everyone, is I hold the token when it breaches 90. I don't care if it's 89, but when it hits 90, I will buy it, again, with a very small percentage of your portfolio. This is like a 1% thing. Don't go big balls in this. Very small, very tiny position. You go in, you take the asset, and you hold it until, in my opinion, what I've been doing is it either hits 25%, in which I'll put a stop loss order in to sell my original investment, and I'll keep 25%. Basically, my profit, I'll keep that many tokens, whatever represents my profit. And then all the rest I put back in cash. I go push it back to Nexo or wherever you keep your cash. I would rather just keep my some Tether or USDC on Nexo because it's grabbing interest every night. So if you're not using it, get it back. Get it off the exchange and get it back to Nexo. And again, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm telling you some of the ways that you can do it. I use the time-based strategy. 1 week or 25%. You do you. You can do whatever you want. But I found this to be consistent, right? So that's what I do. What's going on? Price change. Loopring, Aave, IrisNet, Zcash, Alpha Finance Lab. Twitter volume. Yearn, Loopring, EOS. They're releasing an exchange. They're doing an exchange called Bullish. Novogratz and the other half-wits. But the exchange is going to run off of EOS. So it is going to push some transactions. My guess is EOS, as much as I hate to say it, it may not be bad to take a flyer in EOS. I'm looking at it. I haven't pulled the trigger yet, but I'm not saying I won't. The information changes. You got to go with it. They're still really well capitalized. Yes, they're a bunch of idiots. Yes, they're a bunch of flaws, but they're still the best capitalized of the startups. They raised $4 billion. I think they've only squandered $2 billion of it, but they raised it in Ethereum and Bitcoin. And think about what Ethereum and Bitcoin have done over the last 2 years. So my guess is EOS has 99,000 problems, but financing is not one. So they're building an exchange. There you go. There's the EOS news. Who else? Anybody interesting? Nope. Okay. Let's move right along. Let me make sure I didn't miss anybody's questions. Should have kept my EOS. Yeah, I had a bunch. Oh, I got all my EOS. I actually traded 2 Ethereum a long time ago for 1,100 and something, like 1,110, because it was $555 per Ethereum when I did it. And I traded, so I had a 1,000-ish EOS. I kept them for a long time. I tried staking. That was a fail. You never get all your tokens out. And I think I still have like 900 Ethereum somewhere. Not Ethereum. I have 900 EOS. You know what? I think it's on Nexo. I should look that up. But anyway, I don't have a giant position. but maybe they'll do something, right? Who knows? Okay. So if let's see. So I've been holding Matic since 14 cents. Does that mean I have atomic hands? Yes, you have subatomic hands. If you were at, you're getting close, crypto gamer, you may want to hit the exit on a little bit of that and just take some of the sidelines. You don't have to wait for a 10x. If you got in at 14 cents and it's at 11, you're at an 800% return. Maybe get to the sidelines with some of that, right? Take some of that. Take some of that to the side. Take some to the side. Okay. What else is going on? Anything super exciting there? No. Okay. Let me make sure that I haven't ignored anyone over here. What's the potential? What is the potential for Casper Networks? Why so much buzz? Well, for those of you that don't know, CSPR Casper, it just released yesterday on, you know what? Let me see if I can get it. Let me see if I can find it for you. Markets. Let's just look up Casper. It's on Gate. Let's see what it's doing. What is it doing? Gosh, it got up there. So let me tell you what it did. It opened at $8 and change yesterday. Why? There were some people that got in on the ICO. It was a scam. The way it was run was a scam. The people at Casper Labs are douchebags. As far as the listing went. Now, the company itself is interesting. It's something that I think we'll probably want to, watch. Let's just watch. I'm not telling anyone take a position. I will say that we took a position, me and some buddies last night. Well, yesterday, it went from eight and change all the way down to 72, 73 cents. May have gotten lower than that just for a second. I think we got in around $1. So we're up 15, 16%. But it got as high, as you can see, it got $1.30. So technically, my 30% mark was hit. This isn't a quick trade for me. This is a dollar cost average trade because I think there may be value to this. And we'll do a longer discussion about Casper. That's more of like a whole probably discussion, but it is worth mentioning if you want to take a flyer on it, don't do it through CoinList. CoinList is a freaking joke. If you're going to do it through Gate.io. And I'm sure that listings are going to be coming more and more. This thing's going to be everywhere. And you'll hear about it and go, oh man, should have got it at $1. And I know, yeah. Actually, Dawn caught the bottom of this thing. I'm quasi jealous. Totally gelling. Okay. Jerry, good to see you. Adam, good to see you. And Lori, also good to see you. Bitcoin Candy. Sup? Yeah, if you guys can, staking Matic and Celsius. Really? 13%? Huh. You know what? That's worth looking at. Even though I don't trust Celsius and that's the problem, man. I don't know. I don't trust Celsius enough to leave assets on there. There's just too many things. They cut corners in too many ways. I would trust Nexo. I also don't trust BlockFi, but that's me. I'm a very distrusting person. I don't trust anybody. Oh, internet computer. Yeah. That's because Andreessen Horowitz and a few other people got on it and they had a quick listing and all of a sudden it popped up. Yeah. 13.9, 14%. 14% is good. Yeah, it was yeah. So the whole thing with ICP, internet computer, it was a VC dump token. Yeah, they all got in early. They all pimped it. They all flaunted it. That's why there wasn't a lot of news. It just showed up. Everybody's like, woo woo. They dumped and everybody got caught holding the bag. Great. Crypto. Let's see. Cryptos deliver because Wall Street manipulators are late to the game and unable to control it. Well, money controls it though. Les, money, and that's the problem. Is like, well, it's not the problem. It's the reality, and that is that money rules all things. Okay. I think we should go and learn from Bernie. Who wants to learn from Bernie? Now, this is as much an opinion piece as it is anything else. So let me preface.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
So let's see, which music should we choose for this? This is probably conspiracy music. Kinda. We're gonna learn about Bernie and powerful lessons. Stock and crypto meme coin investors. All right, let's take a look. Powers on, why Bernie Madoff should be a powerful lesson to stock and crypto meme coin investors. I should know, not I, me. I is in this writer who his name is Mark Powers. It's a vibrant name, Mark Powers. I should know. I helped chase down 1 billion of his fraudulently obtained cash. It's kind of fun. Powers On is a monthly opinion column from Mark Powers. Great. He spent much of his 40-year legal career working with complex securities-related cases in the United States. After a stint with the SEC, he's now an adjunct professor at Florida International University School of Law, where he teaches a course on blockchain, crypto, and regulatory considerations. So Mark is not a dummy. We will leverage his ideas and thoughts. I was downstairs at a bar on the Upper East Side of Manhattan that Thursday evening, December 11th, 2008, playing a friendly game of Texas Hold'em when the calls began. One after another, they came and they continued at the office the next day. The theme was consistent. I was being asked to represent various victims of a fraud by this guy, Bernie Madoff. You know, the guy that ran NASDAQ, that Bernie Madoff. At this point, I'd never heard of him, but in a matter of days, the whole world would come to learn of his evil misanthrope and his fictitious transactions, which would become the world's largest individual financial fraud and Ponzi scheme. Some calls came directly from the victims themselves. Others came from their accountants and non-securities lawyers who, from time to time, referred matters and clients to me. What I heard was ugly. Many of the callers appeared to have lost millions. For some, it represented their life savings. For those of you that are in too deep, okay? Remember, in crypto, just the tip. Okay, many victims had plowed almost all of their disposable funds into this man's investment fund. Yeesh. Where they had been receiving high investment returns periodically or quarterly for their living expenses. For those of you that are getting paid these big yields and you're like, yeah, yield, you better hope that you get more than 100% before some untimely or unsightly event happens. I mean, if they just give you, if you get yields, oh, I'm getting 20% a month, and you get that for 4 months in a row, and then then the site disappears, or there's a rug pull or a liquidity event or a mispricing of collateral, you just lost 20%. Got to be careful. Is it worth it? Madoff's infinity fraud involving many Jewish communities and charities in New York, Los Angeles, Palm Beach, and parts of Minnesota and Michigan was pernicious, to say the least. He presented an air of secrecy and exclusivity in his activities, insinuating himself into a circle of friends and family. He had obtained a prominent position with exchanges such as NASDAQ and the Cincinnati Stock Exchanges. His apparent position as a reputable financier caused many victims to fall for the facade of credibility and trustworthiness. As the national leader of my son's law firm's securities and litigation and SEC regulatory enforcement practice, and one with experience in representing victims of Ponzi schemes and international investigations, I would be invited to participate with a small group of lawyers to meet with Irving Picard, who would become the SIPA court-appointed trustee overseeing the recovery efforts by the SIPC for those who had lost monies through the failed broker-dealer Madoff ran, Bernard L. Madoff Investment Securities. He made off with the investment. Once Irving came on board to Baker Hostetler and was selected by the court to be the SIPA trustee, our efforts expanded at times to over 250 attorneys throughout the law firm. For over 4 years, I was a core member of the trustees' effort and would lead our national efforts to investigate, develop theories of liability, and bring litigation against hedge funds here in the United States to recover and report 65 billion lost. Eesh. 65 billion. Remember when that used to be money? Remember when 65 billion was a lot? I know the Fed does that every 2 weeks in funny money coupons, but in actual money, currency units, before we had what is happening now, that was a lot of money. Did you know after 9/11, when the Fed came into the markets, they put $30 billion into the market to stabilize markets the day after 9/11. $30 billion. Crazy, right? As it turns out, the number was actually less than 20 billion, still a huge number. You know what this looks like? Looks a lot like Mr. Bill Hwang. Yeah. So everybody's like, oh my God, Bernie Madoff. Yeah, well, this guy Wang dicked there. Anyway, doesn't matter. Whatever. I was going to go with the whole thing. Wang dicked everyone and just continue the meme. Okay. My small team was personally responsible for obtaining the largest settlement to this day against a hedge fund, Tremont, and the second largest cash settlement against anyone during my firm's 12 years of recoveries, over $1 billion in cash. Lessons still to learn from the Madoff scandal. With the death of Madoff on April 14th, you can all celebrate now. It's not too soon. I've been thinking about how about his fraud and how the saga provides some interesting and helpful lessons for those now in and thinking of entering as investors. This YOLO world that we're all in, where everybody's feeling left behind. And here's the thing, man. For those of you that have been here for a few years, the gains that were snatched up in the early days, those are gone. But what it doesn't mean, this is a sidebar. This is not Mr. Powers talking. It doesn't mean you can go find cheap coins. I had to explain this to a guy yesterday. He goes, dude, what's some good cheap ones? I go, they're all fucking cheap if they suck. Even if they're there's not cheap. There's price and value. Those are two different things, right? Price. Whatever two people agreed on in the last trade that happened, that's the price. Price is right because that's the price. But there could be a lot of flawed thinking baked into that, right? So you have to value these assets. Just because something has a low dollar amount, it's measured in pennies. Everybody goes, well, if it's only 2 cents, I can get rich. No, dummy, because just because it's 2 cents doesn't mean anything unless you understand the circulating supply and the float and the lockups and who owns what, right? And the insiders activity and how many wallets the distribution is. And is it liquid or illiquid? The price doesn't mean shit if the other things aren't, if it's not all baked into your estimation. If there's anything we need to teach the newer investors, it doesn't mean, because something's a penny doesn't mean it's going to be the next Bitcoin. You know what the next Bitcoin is? Bitcoin. All right, here we go. Let's see. With the death of Madoff on the 14th, I've been thinking about how this fraud and how the saga provides some interesting and helpful lessons to those now in and thinking of entering the crypto space as investors, particularly with regard to meme coins in the age of social media and the rapid dissemination of viral information. And viral is a good description of it because it's very little information and mostly virus. Among these observations is the continuing appeal of the follow the crowd. Yeah, the ignorant masses mentality and the lack of financial investment acumen, meaning these people are fucking idiots. That's what they're saying. Let's be honest. Many of us are just escaping the depths of idiocy. We all came into this space ignorant, right? We didn't have knowledge. Doesn't mean we're stupid. Doesn't mean we have a low IQ. It just means we didn't have the enough information to make informed or educated decisions, right? But maybe now we do. All right. The same can be said of a large number of Madoff's individual victims, okay? And even institutions which failed to understand and question his trading strategies, which purportedly and astonishingly on reflection provided profits in both up and down markets. Huh, that's interesting. Red flags were prevalent, especially to the supposedly sophisticated hedge funds that invested in Madoff's purported investment fund. This is another reason why when the people like over, I'm going to use Celsius again. Who do you loan to? We loan to sophisticated investors. Oh, really? Who? Hedge funds. Which hedge funds? Crypto hedge funds. Bitch, those are not, they're not sophisticated. Those things disappear overnight. There were hundreds of crypto hedge funds in 2017. They all popped up. About 7 of those survived, maybe 12. Hundreds gone. Money evaporated. Poof. Oh, they were all experts. Oh, the market went against us. I thought you were an expert. An expert would prepare for that. No. You didn't have a strategy? No. Everything goes up. When it goes down, we blow up. We take your money, we buy a house on the beach. Go fuck yourself. That's a hedge fund. That's the primary borrower and where you're getting your yield from on Celsius. They are not a financial institution. Don't confuse Celsius and Nexo. That's like apples and Buicks. They're not even both fruit. Okay? Be very careful. Anyway, here we go. Nowadays, we have groups of individuals buying stock like GameStop, pushing its market cap from under $1 billion to over $12 billion since the beginning of this year. Many are just following the crowd, which is what some in the Madoff days did. Yeah, of course. But what do these Reddit pirates really know about business, its prospects, or for that matter, how to analyze a company's stock price? I suspect many who followed the crowd that pushed the stock price over 400 and briefly drove GameStop to a market cap of over 20 billion lost a great deal of money. Yeah, most people lost money, right? As evidenced by the significant margin calls and liquidity issues the Robinhood exchange experienced during the most frenetic trading periods. Remember when they accidentally misposted that some guy had a negative $700,000 account and he offed himself? Man, if I look at one of my accounts and it says negative anything, I'm like, right? It's all perspective. What's the saying? If you owe the bank $1 million, it's your problem. If you owe the bank $1 billion, it's the bank's problem. I guess that would be the good use of leverage, right? When you have so much leverage that it's nonsensical and you there's nothing to liquidate. They have to liquidate themselves. They can't cut your hands off. They got to cut their own hands off. Okay. And again, I'm reading, so don't want everybody to go, oh, you just stop it with your, okay? This is Mr. Powers speaking. Dogecoin should scare you right now. Let's also look at Dogecoin. And I tend to agree up to a point. I think Dogecoin now is different than it was even a week ago, because I think most of the dummies are gone. They got nuked or they panicked. That's probably why the price came down. And it will level off at some point and is probably, here to stay. However, again, this is Mr. Powers. Let's all look at Dogecoin. It was created in 2013 as a joke to lampoon all the various altcoins. Until January 26th of this year, it had a value of less than 1 cent, rightfully so, since at its best, it had been used as a way to tip others on social media sites. Yet now, it's one of the largest cryptocurrencies in the world, was trading at a high of over 70 cents a week before plunging as its chief booster, Elon Musk, apparently failed to impress the so-called Doge Army with an appearance on Saturday Night Live. Okay. Will this end well for TikTok fans and Musk's astronomical Twitter following? Social phenomena are often short-lived. It's hard to imagine that there's a sustainable use case for Dogecoin, no matter how much we may love Shiba Inus. I don't know if it gets out there enough and it starts being a payment mechanism on enough platforms. It's going to stay. It's not just going to go away. Where is the price going to settle? Well, I don't know if any of us know that. Okay. What about NFTs? It's good. We got to talk to NFTs because that's a bloated, nonsensical place too. I'm presently ambivalent on the use case of blockchain technology. On the one hand, I see the appeal of owning a unique digital piece of art, like a physical artist proof. On the other, I don't quite get the great value here. At least you can hang it on a wall in a gallery or donate to a museum for the public to view. What does one do with the $69 million people? Exactly the same thing. You can hang it on a digital picture frame, on a wall, in a museum, or at your house, right? So I don't know if maybe Mr. Powers doesn't have a keen understanding of what you can do with digital art because he's probably never looked at a television. Oh, wait. Yeah, when you're looking at that box, your television box, the people aren't really in the box. It's just electrons. Mark. Anyway, we like Mark, but sometimes we have to disagree with him. All the above is a way of saying there are a lot of trends out there in the crypto space. And like any technically challenging new financial technology, it's full of con artists and fraudsters all trying to separate you from your money. Yes. So know what you're investing in. Do your own research. Don't always follow the crowd. Also, yes, and yes. Updates from Powers On. In my last column, I rallied against the SEC for what seemed overreaching in the SEC versus Ripple litigation. The SEC had subpoenaed a half dozen financial institutions and a local Federal Reserve for 8 years of personal records for the two Ripple thieves named in the lawsuit. Well, I'm pleased to report that the magistrate judge Newbaum agreed with me. She found the requests an improper overreach and ordered the SEC to withdraw its subpoenas. Let's hear it for the judiciary. I think that was probably not good. If I was an XRP investor, I would want to know what those assholes did for 8 years while they were selling tokens directly against me. And the fact that they won, no one in the XRP community should celebrate. You guys should all be pissed off. You should be pissed off that they're allowed to obscure all of these sketchy ass transactions they did against you. All these people that come out and support, oh, Brad's our guy. Brad stole from you idiots. Brad's not your guy. Brad doesn't give two fucks about you if you can't pay rent. You think Brad gives a shit? That dude will step on your children's neck to walk over to his brand new Ferrari. If you could, listen, I'm not going to go on a thing, but this was not a victory. This might have been a legal victory as far as not having to disclose personal records. But if you own XRP and you see that the legal victories are simply that they don't have to disclose to you what they did while they were selling stolen tokens against you, and yes, they were stolen. All of the original shareholders never agreed to that. That, 9.5 billion for Chris Grand Larceny, 9.5 billion for Jed McCaleb. None of that was agreed to. They just made that out of, they just, here, take it. So whatever, victory, I guess. Anyway, be very careful. Don't follow the meme. Don't simply be a trend follower. And I know a lot of people like go with the trend. Yes, understand what the trend is, okay? But don't just blankly follow a trend. That doesn't mean anything. There's all sorts of things that are trends that are ridiculous. Okay, Steve, is staking on Daedalus and Kraken as dangerous as yield farming on other exchanges? No, it is not. Now, the safest staking you could do for Cardano is staking on Daedalus. You pull your tokens off the internet. If you're on Kraken, you are on exchange, so there is some counterparty risk. You have exchange risk, right? Platform risk, as Adam Back likes to say. And if the platform gets, heisted or they report to the IRS or, whatever, you have all your laundries out there. If you're okay with that risk, you're okay. Now, yield farming is different. You're collateralizing your assets. You're putting them in a pool where they help to provide collateral to provide liquidity, or they're being used in some really fast, sketchy leveraged arbitrage. Either way, no, they're not the same. They're incredibly not the same. So they're degrees of danger. Daedalus, safe. Kraken, safe but less safe. Yield farming, good luck. Good luck out there. That's right. They sent, I think it was 50%, but yeah, they sent at least half of all of the Shiba. Oh, by the way, funny little note. You guys know that that word in Chinese means S, right? Like the Shiba coin really means like S coin in Chinese. So joke's on us, I guess. Okay, let's take a look over here. I had an interesting article. For those of you that are kind of interested in Fetch and AI and all this kind of stuff, look at what's going on with MTLX. You say, what's MTLX? If you staked Fetch, F-E-T, at Fetch, you got, if you signed up for it, you got part of the Phoenix program where they give you free tokens. It's still going. You get MTLX tokens every day for free. You get Atomics tokens every day for free, just for being there. You're getting showered in free tokens. Is the staking as good as staking in a liquidity pool? No, but that's risky shit, man. This is very safe staking. I'll take the safe. And part of the safe is the Phoenix program. So MTLX is one of the tokens. Well, MTLX, okay, is integrating DIA oracles to expand its offering. So I'm going to go into it real quick because many of you are getting into AI, and this is important. It may have you start looking at MTLX, right? Let's dig deeper. We can be better. Fetch has successfully completed a mainnet integration of DIA, decentralized information asset, an open source data and Oracle platform. Again, open source Oracle. This is going to be what you're going to hear over and over. This is why I've been saying, no one wants to listen, that there is fucking nothing unique about Chainlink, nothing proprietary, nothing interesting, because all of these platforms are going to have their own oracles. It's open source, free shit. No, everybody's like, oh, Sergey's a fucking dude. The dude's just as sketch as Justin Sun. He just wears a cute, funny little beard, and so people go, oh, this guy's for real. This just Chainlink guy's for real. They're rebranding, dude. They're rebranding because they fucking suck. Because there's nothing unique about Chainlink. Zero. There's nothing proprietary. You can't moat the business. They don't have anything they can patent. They don't have anything they can copyright. They don't really have anything to trademark. Great. You have oracles. Guess what? Every smart contract needs data from the outside injected in. Think Chainlink's going to do it? No. Chainlink, Ethereum. Cool. And it's not even the only Oracle solution for Ethereum. Anyway, that was a side rant. For those of you that missed, maybe I had a couple days, I didn't do a rant. There you go. You got a side rant. Fetch has successfully completed a mainnet integration of DIA, decentralized information asset, an open source data and Oracle platform that enables market participants to source, supply, and share trusted financial data. The Wikipedia for financial data will be used to expand the range of markets offered in MTLX DEX, their decentralized exchange. DIA's various data feeds are being used by a number of actors in the DeFi and CeFi, right? Decentralized and somewhat centralized finance space, and contribute to the proper functioning of a wide range of financial decentralized apps, dApps. DIA allows for data analysts, data providers, and users coming together and building transparent and reliable data feeds. Each data set request submitted to the DIA platform gets voted on, and once validated, the data gets published and stored in an immutable open source database. Again, open source, not moated, not private or proprietary. Open source. Why? Because it moves the space forward. Okay. Some of the DIA feeds that MTLX is looking to incorporate include crypto volatility index, DeFi lending and borrowing rates, trade volume for various assets, farming pool rates, prices for newly launched tokens. Cool. The DIA source data can then be used for launching unique markets that pair, for example, the volume of BTC and its price, the crypto volatility index and the price of gold for farming rates with the price of Ethereum. Our cooperation with the Oracle professionals from DIA will enable Fetch.ai and MTLX ecosystems to incorporate reliable price feeds unavailable anywhere else in the DeFi space. Unavailable because Chainlink can no do this. Anyway, we're looking forward to implementing DIA's open source oracles in MTLX to offer our traders and physical commodities holders a wider range of markets to speculate or hedge on. Now, listen, speculation, hedging, lots of leverage. It's going to happen anyway. I guess if I can own a little bit of the exchange that's doing it, so owning MTLX, for those of you that are curious, MTLX, that's how you would grab some exposure. I believe it's on KuCoin. Is it on KuCoin? I'd have to look. It's either KuCoin, Gate, or MTX or MXC exchange. Anyway, it's there. You can find it. Fetch.ai's technology has potential to optimize financial services through its AI ML, which is artificial intelligence, machine learning based infrastructure. Okay. We're very excited to launch this new partnership and support MTLX by providing accurate and transparent data feeds and continue fostering the development of the DeFi ecosystem. Apart from Fetch.ai and the MTLX DEX, DIA's data feeds will gradually be made available to all projects that integrate with the Fetch network. So that's kind of cool. And then other note would be the token swap between the ERC20 FET token and their own token, their proprietary token, their mainnet token is on the 15th of July. Okay. So what they'll do is they'll freeze the staking contract for a day or two. They'll do the token migration and then it'll go back and everything will be hunky dory. Yeah, I wouldn't do anything drastic. Just, I'll give you more news before that happens so that we can all make the correct decisions. Okay, let's see. Crypto Gamer asks, Have you heard about Charlie C3 is supposed to be dedicated Oracle for Cardano? I have heard about that, but it looked so kind of spammy that I didn't pay much attention. Is there an Oracle on Flow? Well, there must be some kind of data feed, but I don't know about the mechanisms of Flow. I just know that they keep having problems every time there's a new pack that comes out. I got that pack the other day. I didn't get anything good in it. Well, I got like a number 327 rare card, a rare moment, but I don't think it's worth smoke. I think I got beat on that one, but on all the other ones, I've done really good. So once Gogan smart contracts go live, let's see. I heard a little bird tell me that Cardano has a lot of projects ready to port. Yes, man. There's so many. You know what? I'm going to show you guys. Let me show you this. Let me do something. If I can. Alex sent me this. I wonder if I can. Let me see if I can put it in the. Okay. Now let's see if I can go big. Big enough for you guys to see it. Ooh, I think you can see that. Okay, so thank you, Alexander. Nice one, nice one. So here's what's going on. This is the Cardano ecosystem as we now see it. And not everything's here, but Charlie 3, like you were talking about, is right here. Kind of cool. So here we have a liquidity. We have Polyswap, Cardax, Yay Swap. No. Sunday, Jesus, man, these swap platforms. Damon Exchange, VY Finance, Air Codex. I'm guessing that's an Ergo product. Faro, MinSwap, Ray, CardSwap. Cool. The IDO platform, whatever the hell that top one is, OGG 7. Yeah, I don't know what. I don't even know if that's a 7, a 1, an M, whatever. Vintip.io, Card Starter. That's the one that we were looking at that got way up and then way down. It's kind of been going straight up. Oracles, Charlie 3, Emergo, Wolfram Alpha. This is the big name, Wolfram Alpha, as an Oracle data provider. That's the reason Siri works. That's the reason that Alexa and all these things, that's the reason they work. The reason you can ask your phone for information it talks back is because of Wolfram Alpha in the most part. Graph and Query, Dandelion, Black Frost, Flurry, Honeycomb, NFTs. Yeah, there's NFTs. Bondly, which I am interested in. A to Zoo, Yawn, Player Mint, Bit Bunny, Artano, VIF Club, Nifty. Nifty's interesting. Cardano Tails, probably junk. Okay, payment. Cody, interesting. Celsius, Simpo, Siren Labs, Metaps. You know why I'm worried about Celsius? They're going to get pilfered. It's just a matter of time. Something's going to happen. They're going to have a BlockFi moment. And then of course, it's going to be after they finally do some port over to Cardano. And then they'll have done it. And right then, something will happen. People will be like, Cardano, it's Cardano's fault. No, dummies. It's loaning to insolvent fucking retards. That's the problem. But it'll be looked at as a Cardano problem. So anyway, it's a pretty big network that's building. So I'm kind of interested in it to see where all this goes. Okay, Solana. Yeah, I like Solana. I don't think that's on the list. Well, there's a lot of projects that aren't on this list. Listen, the ecosystem, there's nowhere on there do you see AGI, and that's one of the first projects porting over and probably one of the most famous. So, don't be too worried. Don't be too worried. Just focus on you. Okay, so let's do this. Let's have everybody today just not try to catch every green candlestick. Okay? It's okay if other people win the day, right? Every coin that goes up doesn't have to be yours. Can you imagine? That's like somebody who races is like, I have to win every race. What do you mean? There's like 10 races going on at every second. I have to win them all. That doesn't even make any sense. You can't win them all. It's not Pokemons. You can't catch them all. Every green candlestick is not a Pokemons. Pokemons. What's the plural of Pokemon? Mini Pokemon? Mini fish? Fishes? You can say both. birds, ravens, ravi. I don't know. Anyway, you don't need to win them all. You don't need to catch them all. Same thing with STDs. 2 or 3 is fine. You don't need them all. And remember, you got it at a truck stop, at a truck stop bathroom, or you were at a construction site and you used one of the porta potties. That's how you got it. Pokemon. Pokemon is already plural. Weird. So Frankie, can you have one Pokemon? I ask you. Can one have just one? They say catch them all. Catch them all. I didn't catch nothing. I got one. I got that first one they give you when you set up the app. And then someone was like, hey, people are using that as like a man-on-man dating site. And I was like, what? Like, yeah, dude. They like set up a Pokemon thing. They put a bunch of Pokemon around a van. You go over there and you're like catching the Pokemons, and then they just pull you into the van. And pretty soon, like 3 years later, you're on a leather couch pointing to a doll, telling the therapist where the bad man touched you. Yeah, man. Pokemon. And on that dour note, don't do anything my poor insolvent drunk, strung on a meth grandmother wouldn't do. She's smoking water again. You know how it is. Smoking that water. And clearly, Anthony just won the show again. I don't know how you do it, sir. I don't know how you do it. But you did it.
Hey, this is the Prophet with Nick Black. It's time to chit chat. You know nothing about blockchain. We here to fix that. You want the news on them new stocks? This where you get that. So go and grab you a nice chair. It's time to sit back and talk to Prophet. Hey, you talking to the Prophet? Hey. We talking condos and nice clothes and driving Lambos. I remember them night codes, we couldn't stand those. We tried to drive on them house roads, but had to stay low. Now there's solutions to hard bills we couldn't pay for. I talked to Prophet to get some profit, we couldn't change the top. If it's a stock and I need a cop it, I wait for him to drop it. Ain't no option, let's get it popping. We chilling in the trap. I need some crypto, put it in my pocket. By any means I rock. This is the Prophet with Nick Black. It's time to chit chat. You know nothing about blockchain, we here to fix that. You want the news on them new stocks, this where you get that. So go and grab you a nice chair. It's time to sit back and talk to Prophet. Hey, you talking to the Prophet? Hey, you talking to the Prophet?